Hey guys, welcome back to the next episode. Now we're absolutely buzzing for tonight because we've headed across to Blue Water Divers at Robinson's Marina on the west end of the island to go for a 2-tank night dive. Now this doesn't actually happen very often in Bermuda. Blue Water Divers are the only one who actually run night dives from their boat during the summer. It's absolutely stunning because we get biofluorescent coral, everything else, so we're going to have fun tonight. Before we get going, me and Rafa jumped in this morning for a shore dive at Elbow Beach at Tarpon Hole. I'm going to run the footage of that just now because under the arch we had heaps of grey snappers, horseye jacks, Bermuda Chub, so much life today at the arch. And as you can see in the footage, we had some stunning conditions as well. But without further ado, let's jump on Blue Water Divers' boat and let's get going. Sorry mate. After the stunning sunset, we're about to drop down onto 2 tugs to a dust dive, or the night dive later at Southwest Breaker. Look at the conditions.
Drunk, I've never seen you clearer than now. We're flying high, floating somewhere up in the clouds. We're going out of ourselves, can you feel it? Almost like I don't know if it's real, cause when we're doing our thing, we're the wheels that won't stop turning. So take me on a trip, now, trip. Oh, flick that switch, kill the lights. Oh, wasted. City lights are shining so bright. All these empty faces, we don't care about them tonight. We're going out of ourselves, can you feel it? Almost like I don't know if it's real, cause when we're doing our thing, we're the wheels that won't stop turning. I know we're acting stupid, we're being dumb, maybe just a little bit foolish, but I feel so young. Just go a little crazy and lose it. I don't care if we're dumb, it's the only way we know how to do it. You make me feel so young. I know we're acting stupid, we're being dumb, maybe just a little bit foolish, but I feel so young. Just go a little crazy and lose it. I don't care if we're dumb, it's the only way we know how to do it. Make me feel so young. I know we're acting stupid, maybe just a little bit foolish.
What an absolute blast we just had. We've just got back to the house. It's about 11:30, almost 12 o'clock. We did an epic 2 dives with Blue Water Divers, diving 2 tugs and also diving Southwest Breaker, where we had all the biofluorescence coral. We had the porcupinefish, really curious, just swimming around us. So I really hope you guys enjoyed that. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to jump inside and I'm actually going to talk about the equipment we used and how we actually filmed the biofluorescence coral. So if you guys are interested in that, stick along with that. I might also do this as a separate video as well eventually, for people to find it as well, because I think it's actually quite helpful to see how we actually film this stuff. And you're probably going to hear some clicking noise in the background just now. That's actually the tree frogs in Bermuda that are endemic to Bermuda that are actually making mating calls. So this is pretty much sound you hear every night. You actually get used to it after a while. But let's go jump inside and I'll start talking about how we actually film the biofluorescence coral. Hey guys, as promised, I'm going to talk through about how I film biofluorescence coral during night dives and kind of what equipment I use and how do I do it. Now, we normally shoot on GoPros and Paralenses, but as I'm using the GoPros to film this section, I'm going to be talking about the Paralenz and how I do that, but I'll also be chatting through about how you do it on a GoPro as well. Now, if none of you don't know, the Paralenz is a great dive camera. It was done by Danish engineers who wanted a camera that could do everything and you didn't have to buy all the additional accessories for diving. So it doesn't require housing, it doesn't actually require a red filter. It's actually all in it as one. It's a thoroughly versatile camera. It has something called dive color correction, or DCC blue, which means it color corrects at depth. It works out what depth you're at, light, and it kind of color corrects it for you. It also has a DCC green function as well for if you're diving in the colder waters. Instead of using a magenta filter on a GoPro, it color corrects as well for that. Again, DCC blue is the equivalent of a red filter on a GoPro. What I use on the dives is I use the SeaLife Sea Dragon dual fluoro beam. It is a great piece of kit, and why I like it as well is because a lot of people, when they do fluorescent night dives, they use UV lights, and as you know, UV is quite dangerous. Especially when you go to the beach, you get sunburnt because of the UVs. Now that's the same for coral, where you can actually damage the coral with a UV light. Now this is a fluoro light, I believe it's an LED, but it produces a blue fluoro light, which helps to bring or excite the pigments in the coral to bring up the biofluorescence. Now, if I turn it on, you see it gives a nice, clean, clear blue circle, or blue fluoro circle, which you'll use for the dive. Now this helps to excite the pigments in the coral to bring up the biofluorescence. Now, what you have to use is yellow filters, because the biofluorescence is still out of the camera and our visual spectrum. So we use yellow filters to help be able to see the biofluorescence. I'll turn this off now. Now with the SeaLife kit, they actually give you some yellow filters to go with the kit as well. Now I believe it's done by Fire Dive Gear, which is a partnership with SeaLife that provide the filters for them. Now we have one filter here. Comes with a bungee, you have to put the bungee in yourself, and this will go across your camera, just across your GoPro housing, or in this case the Paralenz, where you'll just click it on, use the bungee and pull it across and have it just sit. Just like that, very straightforward and easy. Now you want to make sure that you have the filter clean and wiped down. Just like with a lens, if you have smudges, it will smudge in your footage as well. Now with the Paralenz, as I mentioned earlier, you have DCC blue or DCC green, depending on where you're diving in the world. You want to have these turned off and be on white balance auto. Now the reason you want to be on white balance auto, well, you really want to be on white balance auto for night dives using the Paralenz anyway, because with the filter on and the lights being used, the camera will try and color correct the filter and the lights, and it will muck up your footage and bring it very red or purple. So you want to have it on white balance auto with the yellow filter. There's nothing more you need to do for that for filming, but of course this now brings the biofluorescence, the coral, in conjunction with the blue fluoro light into the visual spectrum of the camera. Now of course our eyes are still not in the visual spectrum. The coral will look very blue from the light, and you won't be able to see the colours popping yet. So with your dive mask, as you can see, this dive mask has been well used. It's my Northern Diver military dive mask. I've had this mask now for 8 years, done thousands of dives with it. It's a great piece of kit, I love it, but I think I need time to buy a new one. I just have to get permission from the wife. Now with this filter kit, it actually comes with a mask filter as well. So what you do, nice and easy, you just place the filter over your mask when you're wearing it, and you would put the strap across to the back of your head like you do with your dive mask strap, and it just sits on your face or on your mask just like this. With this filter, yellow filter, it brings the coral biofluorescing into your visual range, so you'll get really nice bright greens, bright purples, bright reds, as you just saw in the early clips of this video. Now what I really like about this whole kit is it comes in this handy pouch where this will just sit in my BCD, and I'll just take this out when I'm going to start doing some biofluorescence filming. Now I hope with this whole setup, as I mentioned, I'll talk about how you do it on the GoPro as well. It's the same setup as a GoPro. You put the yellow filter on your GoPro housing, and with the GoPro you leave it on white balance auto as well, or GoPro color. It doesn't really too matter for the GoPro. But if you guys have any comments or questions about where can I buy this kit, or what would I recommend, or how should I film biofluorescence, or how do I know biofluorescence is going to be in this area, please comment below and we'll do our best to answer those questions for you and give you advice to how you guys can do it, and feel free to ask as many questions as you'd like. But thank you very much guys, and I'll see you in the next video.